back to my channel for another video. In this video, I'm going to share with you my new favorite dessert recipe. I was seriously so excited to find this recipe, and I've modified it a little bit to kind of lower the sugar in it. There's not refined sugar, it's just a little bit of maple syrup or your choice of sweetener. They're also completely vegan, gluten-free. Seriously, such a gem of a recipe. I've already eaten way too many of these, but I just had to share it with you guys because I was seriously so excited to find it. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this amazing garbanzo bean brownie recipe.
In a blender or food processor, add in 1 can of garbanzo beans, drained and rinsed, half a cup of almond or peanut butter, or a combination of the two, 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 1 tablespoon of melted coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Blend until all ingredients are thoroughly combined and then set the blender aside. If you have a food processor, you can do this step in a food processor and then add the next ingredients into the food processor as well. But if you don't, a blender will do, and then I get out a big bowl for the next step. Add 1/4 a cup of almond flour, 1/4 a cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. Then mix well. If you still have everything in a food processor, you can use the processing function to mix all of these ingredients together. Otherwise, combine the dry ingredients and then add everything from your blender into the bowl and thoroughly combine. Next, we are going to add in half a cup of chocolate chips, and even if you have been using a food processor, make sure and stir these in by hand so you have some nice chunky chocolate in your brownies. And I like to use extra dark chocolate chips. These ones are 70% dark and there's no added sugar or anything, but any chocolate chips that you would like to use will work great. Grease your baking sheet with a little bit of coconut oil. You can really use any size you would like. This one is closer to a 13 by 9. It's a little bit smaller than that, and that makes a nice thin brownie, but you can also use a smaller pan like an 8 by 8, and that'll make them nice and thick. Just remember that the thicker they are, the longer they will take to cook all the way through, so it's totally up to you. Spread the batter out nice and even, and then I like to add a small handful of chocolate chips sprinkled over the top just because I think it looks pretty. And then you will bake at 350 degrees for 18 to 22 minutes depending on the size pan you chose. They will seem really soft and melty when you pull them out of the oven, but just let them cool and then store them in an airtight container either in the pantry or the fridge for up to a week, and seriously, these are so good.
Alright, that is it for this recipe. Make sure and let me know if you're going to try it and what you think of it if you do. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would give this video a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like these types of videos, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye guys!